We're on the clock now with a minute as a group to opine on some of the week's other notable headlines. We'll start with the race for governor and potential Democratic challengers, Mo Maestas and Tim Keller. Maestas met with Democratic Governors Association recently, urging those at the meeting to support a challenge to Susana Martinez. Then he signaled, Mylan, that, that he likely would not run, actually. I'm curious if, we can't know this factually, what might he have heard at that meeting to help him change his mind?
I don't know what he heard, but I don't think he's going to run.
Okay.
I don't think Antonio Maestas wants to take that step right now. He's a bright guy, and I don't think he thinks this is the right opportunity.
Well, I got your thoughts on Tim Keller.
I think Tim Keller does want to do it. I think a lot of people think he is a businessman and is the right opponent.
Yeah, both of those names, Mo Maestas and Tim Keller. Go ahead.
I think they're both shining stars in the Democratic Party. I think either one would make a fantastic candidate. I will say this, I think a sleeper candidate that we haven't talked about is Senator Linda Lopez.
Oh, interesting. Well, she's out there. Go ahead, 30 seconds.
The issue for Mo Maestas and for Tim Keller is that they voted for this tax reform package, which is going to be a real big problem for them within the Democrat primary.
Right.
The exact same thing. Exactly what I was going to bring up. I think, though, they both have interesting voting records on other issues.
Right.
And just looking at what Tim Keller managed.
Tim Keller
I
pushed this
know.
through.
That's the thing that kills me about it. His
It's
other bills are
interesting, isn't
good, but that one, not so pretty.
That's going to be a tough one. Time on that one. Southern New Mexico Congressman Stephen Pierce wants to expand the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant, or WIPP. Their mission to include nuclear waste from not just the Department of Energy, but the whole federal government. Jamie, people have been pushing for this for a long time, that we're going to run out of gloves and hats and things to store, and no one's going to have anything to do. But is this the right way to go to solve that problem?
Look, I think that the way to go is the way that the BRC, the commission that was looking at this whole thing, over not just for the WIPP, but also interim storage and other storage options. It's a consent-based approach, and that means the communities, if they want it, then they should be able to fight for this. And the community down in Lee and Eddy County, they want this badly.
But then these things have to travel over the road, all the things we typically see fights about. Is this a viable option for WIPP?
It's an interesting question. I think that we will continue to see some pushback from those communities. I think that it's worth pointing out that Pierce has also pushed for additional funding, release of funding to continue the cleanup at Los Alamos, and that does seem like a positive move to me.
Sure. Mylan, what do you make of this one?
Well, it's a revived bill. I think it makes sense. You have operations throughout the country that were private but had government contracts. They have similar kinds of waste that has already been buried there. So it probably conceptually makes a lot of sense.
Interesting. Real quick, Javier, if you would.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is something that if people of Southern New Mexico want it, then it's something that needs to happen.
There you go. Finance and Administration Secretary Tom Clifford apologized to lawmakers this week for getting it wrong when he testified that a massive last-minute tax bill we just talked about here a little bit earlier in the legislature would be revenue neutral. He was wrong. It's going to cost money. Sophie, would correct testimony, this is my idea here, would the correct testimony have changed that final vote?
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The legislators walked out of that room saying, basically, we were told that this was going to be a good deal. We heard that this was going to be revenue neutral, and they had zero time to look at the package. They heard from Tom that it was going to be good, and they voted.
Right.
I think there's no way it would have gone through without that testimony.
Same question.
I'm reminded of the way that the Obamacare passed the Congress, the U.S. Congress, in the same way where Congress is told it was going to cost under $1 trillion over 10 years, and then a year later it's 1.2 trillion. A year after that it's 1.5, 1.8 now.
You worked into Obamacare.
Well,
into a subject about
but it's the same. It's a different party, same approach, same
There you
issue.
go. Mylan, what do you make of this one?
Transparency.
You watched
the bill
this.
would have been approved anyway.
Seriously?
This is incidental. There were in the House 20 of the 70 members are new. 20 out of 70. A lot of them hadn't even read it and they voted for it. If you're going to vote for something that you have not even read, what Tom Clifford said or did not say makes no difference. This was a deal that Ken Martinez, the House Speaker, cut with Susana Martinez's administration. No effect whatsoever on the vote.
Right. Interesting.
And I'll take it to the other side of the chamber. I think the New Mexico State Senate, and I was there at 1 in the morning, Saturday morning, when this was first heard of. And out of 17 senators that we spoke to, advocating against this piece of legislation, none of them had heard about this. So this was really John Arthur Smith and a very conservative coalition pushing this through not only the House eventually, but the Senate.
Right, interesting. Susana Martinez says the rules are now different for New Mexico counties and towns who want capital outlay money. If their audits aren't current, they don't get the dough. Javier, smart government?
Absolutely.
Or oversimplified policy that could bite somebody somewhere.
Good governance. I think Auditor Valderas nailed it on the head when he said, you know, we can't be rewarding these institutions, these public institutions, for malfeasance, essentially. And I think it's a good move by the governor.
Mylan, what do you thought on this?
I think so. Anytime you have public money, and this is often considered pork, I mean, most communities say it's not, but you can get projects in there that are not that essential. So I think any auditing, any scrutiny is good.
Is this a behavior changer in your view, or is it a systems problem that needs some
Well,
attention?
the auditor's office has thousands of audits to worry about.
Right.
So I don't know that you can correct that unless you really want to add staff.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Jamie?
I think it's an excellent move. Let's just hope it doesn't create the conditions for more fake audits.
That's right, too. More whiteout sales going up. That'll be the tip-off.
The one thing I will say is I'm really glad that this money is not coming out of cities' operating budgets because they are already struggling financially, and I would hate to see a situation, I'm glad this didn't happen, where the ability to conduct the budgets was undercut. They're already losing so much money in these budgets.
That's a
so
good point.
they've got to support the ability to do audits.
That's right. Good point there. Sequestration means forced furlough days for more than 6,000 federal workers here in New Mexico. Sophie, I'm going to start with you again. Secretary Hagel, we've been waiting for this word for 2 weeks. It's not as bad as it could have been, but it's bad.
I think it's still really bad,
Yeah.
and I think this is the moment for New Mexico. We've been hearing it's coming. It's been pushed down the road. This is the moment for New Mexico in which we have to turn and say this has got to be fixed.
You have been ringing this alarm bell
Yeah.
since you've been at this table.
Right.
So
It's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
My household will get hit by this one, unfortunately. But I don't know that it's settled yet. I hear that the Navy is working real hard to say, hey, look, we're going to go find ways in which we can avoid this. So that it just creates competition between the other branches to avoid it as well. So I'm not sure that it's completely settled yet, but we'll see.
That's a lot of paychecks, Mylan, from a lot of people here.
Well, that's going to be the big issue going into this governor's race and all these other races next year is how many federal jobs are lost and how, if at all, can they be replaced.
Right on. Good point there, Javier.
And I think the lesson here for New Mexico is we have to diversify our economy. We cannot keep depending on federal jobs. For the rest of our history, I mean, we really have to make it a point to improve our education system and improve our job prospects.
Good stuff. Thank you all. Mylan, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Glad you made it up here, for sure. That's all the time we have. A note of thanks this week to our web developer and designer, Jason Skinner, who is taking Horace Greeley's advice and going west to California. Jason was instrumental in bringing you the online information and election night data that made our 2012 election night coverage stand out, and he will be missed. Good luck, Jason. You can always ask questions, sound off on this week's program, or give us ideas for next week by catching up with us on social media, where you can usually find us by searching the name NM in Focus. I'm Gene Grant. We'll see you next week in Focus.